Hi everyone, I'm Amy from Learning as We Lope, and today we're installing a camera in the back of our horse trailer so that we can keep an eye on Rocco during our Texas trip. There are quite a few camera systems made specifically for horse trailers, but many of them can get pretty expensive. So instead, we decided to see if a backup camera designed for campers and semi-trucks could do the job for a fraction of the cost. Whether the wireless signal has enough range to work from the truck all the way back to the back of the horse trailer. And if it does, it could be a great budget-friendly option for anyone hauling horses. Of course, no unboxing would be complete without a little help around here. We have a couple of special assistants who are going to introduce the camera and help us open up everything before we get started with the installation. So, let's see if this budget camera is worth it.
Hi, this is Charlotte from Learning as We Lope, and we are going to install a camera in Amy's horse trailer, and I'm so excited. And if you like this video, hit subscribe and hit the thumbs up. So, let's get started.
So right now we plugged into a 12-volt auxiliary plug that we have, and we're checking the voltage. We have this trailer plugged into the truck, so we have voltage from the truck batteries, and so we're getting the correct polarity on the wires here so we can connect them to the camera correctly, because it says if you reverse the polarity on the camera you can damage it. So we got the red wire hooked to the gray, so that's our positive, and our black wire's hooked to the white, that's our negative. So that's how we'll hook it up to the camera. So now I need a camera. Well, next you want to put the antennas on the cameras. We won't get them very tight because we don't know what position they need to be in. This is the monitor that comes with it. Looks like it has 2 antennas on it. I don't know if that's for each camera or what, but then it comes with this 12-volt cigarette lighter power supply that plugs into this and plugs into right here. And we already know where one of them needs to be, so we can go put one in on the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
So now what we did, we found a 12-volt 2-outlet adapter, and we plugged both the camera in and the monitor. And that way we can position the camera and see where the position is by having the monitor right here. So, I'll do a little experimenting.
Okay, so I can see pretty much everything but the back legs. That will work right there. And you could see the next stall a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
You think?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, so I need a pencil to mark this probably. And we have some wiring back here, and I believe this brown wire goes to the tail lights, so we can hook it to the tail lights so the camera will be powered whenever the tail lights are on. That way it'll not drain the battery when we're not using it. Okay. Hold the camera. I'll put the screws in without that in the way because it's pretty close to the frame. Okay. Don't need the camera bucket. Okay. Hold my bucket. Mount these so that it's kind of like a sunshade on the top.
Okay.
I don't think that matters inside of a trailer,
I'm assuming not.
but
Would it be upside down though on the
could be.
video?
Yeah, could be.
Maybe? That would not be great. That would kind of hurt my head after a while, I bet.
Okay. Next, we have to check this wiring.
What's that? Meter thing or?
Yeah, I've got this little tester. We'll see if it works.
Okay.
But you'll have to go to the truck and turn the lights, just the park lights on.
Okay.
We'll see if this thing works. There. And it says circuit OK and a division mark. I don't know what that means, but it means we have power
Okay.
because you turn it off and there's nothing.
Okay.
So anyway, this is the tail light wire, and we're hooking that to the camera for the camera power. So when you stop, your cameras won't be powered all the time. If they were, they would run your battery down unless you unhooked from the truck. And even if you had an onboard battery, it would run that down. But the cameras don't draw a lot of current. But if you drove parked your trailer and left it for a couple weeks, it would run down your battery, and your truck was still hooked to it. It would run down the battery in your truck too. So we're going to hook it into tail lights because you always remember to turn your tail lights off. And most newer vehicles, they go off automatically after a certain amount of time. So we're going to splice into this wire for power for both these cameras. I think we're going to try to use these T-tap, it's called. It's a Dorman 85468. And what that does, it clamps on your wire.
Okay.
And then this has a little spade lug that'll push into it after you make the clamp. So let's do the clamp on the wire first. You want to do it, Amy? We're going to do it about halfway between the cameras here. And we just squeeze it with the pliers. Okay. Squeeze it like this. Until it connects together. See, it's got a little catch there. So that's pretty good there. And then what we're going to do is twist the two red wires for the camera power together. You got it? And then we're going to use one of these spades and the crimpers I dropped on the ground. Get the right size. I think it's this one. Oops. Make sure the connection is nice and tight. And then the grounds, we're going to connect them two together. Use a spade lug, a butt splice connector. And then we're going to hook a little ground, extra ground wire, so we can ground this thing to the chassis.
You want to move it a little
Okay.
closer? Bring the whole wire closer.
You see what that ended up like?
Perfect.
Okay. So now I should be done with all those except this ground because we don't know where it's going to end up at yet. We'll plug this into the tail light wire. Like that. We can start tucking these wires back in the wire tray. And so then we'll have one of these. We'll power this camera. Just plug it in. Sneak these wires down back behind. They should go all out of the way eventually. And this one will go to the other camera. Plug that in. We can get all these wires down. If those get too much out of control, we might have to get a wire tie or something to hold those down in there. And then this ground wire, we got to ground it somewhere, and we'll ground it on one of these bolts right here. So we'll cut this off. Strip it a little bit. And I use our little spade lug here.
So need a screwdriver again?
Yeah.
Bolt.
This is kind of a non-insulated spade lug, but since it's the ground, it shouldn't matter. Okay. Tuck all these wires in. There, looks pretty good. Now we'll have to adjust those and tighten those bolts up. And I think there's another set of bolts to put in there to hold them. But now we need to go in the front and see if they work. They had this circle up here.
Oh, so you just hit that circle. Cool. After putting this camera to the test on our trip to Texas, I have to say I was really impressed. Going into the trip, I was honestly a little worried that the signal would flicker, cut in and out, or eventually disconnect after hours of use. But this camera exceeded all of my expectations. It provided a clear, continuous video for our entire trip, nearly 14 hours of driving. Since then, we've used it on several shorter trips, and it has continued to work flawlessly with zero connectivity issues. One of my favorite things about this setup is how simple it is. As soon as I turn on the trailer lights, the camera powers up and starts doing its job. There's no extra setup or hassle, just reliable video every time we hit the road. Being able to glance at the monitor and check on Rocco without having to pull over gave me so much peace of mind during the drive. Whether he was standing quietly, eating hay, or just riding along, it was reassuring to know I could see exactly how he was doing at any time. If you're looking for a more affordable alternative to one of the horse trailer specific camera systems, I definitely think this is an option worth considering. So, if you found this video helpful, I'd really appreciate if you gave it a thumbs up or subscribe to Learning as We Lope. If you have a camera system in your trailer or have questions about this one, leave a comment below. I'd love to hear what you're using and any questions you have. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Happy hauling!